What do you think would happen in your country if the annual rate of inflation was approaching 1,000,000%? Hello, I'm Brian Davis. That number is the one experts use when explaining what's happening in Venezuela these days. Unless you've been living under a rock lately, you know that Venezuela is going through a massive political and financial crisis. Well, that crisis in the financial sector has opened the doors for cryptocurrencies, especially Dash, to step in and try to give both businesses and the general public a little bit of stability and control over their money. There is a very busy Team Dash in Venezuela, and I had the opportunity recently to speak to one of its leaders. Eugenia Alcala and I discussed how Dash was able to grow in 2018 and where things are heading for the year ahead. My interview with Eugenia Alcala of Team Dash Venezuela is coming up right now. I am so pleased to be joined right now from Caracas, Venezuela, Eugenia Alcala, a member of Dash Venezuela and our person on the street. Eugenia, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you, Brian, for having me.
I love, isn't the magic of the internet fantastic? Here we are just talking face to face, and you're in beautiful, sunny Venezuela, and we won't talk about what things are like here where I live right now.
Yes.
So why don't we just jump right into it and talk about Dash in Venezuela? And why don't you start off with how long it's been going on as far as a real concerted effort of trying to get Dash out there in Venezuela, and how things have been going so far?
Okay. Well, my first proposal was the first proposal ever by a Venezuelan in the Dash network. It was submitted in June 2017 and approved. And then the first conference was held on September that year, 2017. That was the first public event in Venezuela about Dash digital cash. And from that moment on, we held the first conference cycle. We did one conference a month for a year, and it was incredible, the response for the people and of the communities and other leaders that wanted to add on value to the Dash community. And now we finalized that cycle of one conference a month, and we have kept on with the work of educating, of having continued PR efforts and media attention, and also to help companies and help merchants to adopt Dash as a form of payment or donations.
And what's been the easiest part you have found? I know there's challenges, of course, but what's been the easiest part? Is it convincing the merchants to sign up, or convincing the people that this is something that would help them in the long run?
Convincing the Venezuelans is easy because Venezuela right now needs an alternative to the barriers that we are living. For those who don't know, in Venezuela, not only we have a political and social crisis, but also an economical one, very strong, that includes hyperinflation, currency control. The bank platform doesn't work well, so sometimes we don't even have the opportunity to use our cards, even though we have the money in our banks. Also, there is a lack of cash, and that is very bad because many services are paid only with cash, such as public transportation. And also, the limits of the spending transactions daily are very low. So, for example, if I have to pay my week's groceries shopping, I have to deploy all my credit cards and debit cards, like 8 of them, and use them for the full limit they have in order to achieve the total amount of my grocery shopping. And this is not even weird anymore. Every cashier in every supermarket knows that that is going to happen because we don't have any other way to do it, although there is Dash. And so convincing merchants and people that Dash is an opportunity, that is the easiest part.
So how has it been going with signing up merchants? I know the Church's Chicken was a very big feather in the cap of Dash Venezuela. It's a fairly large company, and with their signing up recently at the end of last year, has that helped get the message across and get more merchants to sign up as well?
Yes. When we first began, we had little entrepreneurs to be the first one we talked to because we knew they were most likely to rapidly adopt the cryptocurrency as form of payment of donation, both business entrepreneurs and social entrepreneurs. So we did this with a lot of them, and then bigger merchants started to show interest, and then the big companies said to us something like, well, if they, the little ones, can do it, why can't we? That is the case of Church's Chicken of Venezuela. They have made or completed the adoption process because we accompanied them in financial consulting, in technical consulting, and we had also the collaboration of Dashcore Group with the marketing part. So yes, he has been a huge milestone and has been a good example of how big companies can also do this legally, safely, and responsibly.
Is it more difficult convincing them from a technical standpoint or from a mindset standpoint to make them actually think about how cryptocurrency and Dash can help, or is there a technical aspect to it as well?
Well, we have had to find solutions technical solutions that does not cost money for them, so they are on board on the technical part. About the mindset, they are also needing a solution, so they are open to hear options, to hear alternatives. What worries them is the legal part, but fortunately, we have a very professional team in the legal and also the financial team. So we have consultants that answer their every questions and guide them through the path of adoption.
Now, we talked about you've been doing this for almost a year and a half now in Venezuela, and I suspect that your team has had a little bit of a challenge when it comes to the price fluctuation. How is the fact that you really came in at peak times, and now I mean it's coming back a little bit right now, but
Yes.
you must have had some challenges in the past year with trying to keep things going from a team perspective.
Yes, we have had, I think, a learning curve. Because, as you say, when I first started, the Dash price was, I believe, $190. And from there, I went to 3,000. I couldn't believe myself. I was so excited. Even in 1 or 2 months, I didn't ask for a proposal for treasury funds because I had the difference from the price going up from the last proposal, and I used that to keep the work going. But then came the price drop, and things were different, not only for us as a professional who were earning our incomes in Dash, and we had to learn how to manage the price drop, but also for the people we were teaching. We were teaching people and they had the same questions we did. So we have to learn first and then teach them how to use simple strategies and friendly tools so everyone can use Dash and at the same time protect the value of their money.
That was going to be my next question. Is that a
Yes.
very big stumbling point for the general public, is the fact that the price of Dash can go up and down and they're a little worried? I mean, they've seen the hyperinflation there in Venezuela and the drop in the value of the currency. Are they worried that kind of thing is going to happen with Dash as well?
It is one question, but I have encountered that it is not a barrier that is impossible to overcome. I believe the way to overcome that is through education. When we teach them that they can accept Dash and they can know how the market is going to behave and maybe do some strategy here or do other strategy there so they can protect their value, or even the more skilled ones make profits, so they are more comfortable. we are teaching them how to do that and what tools to use, and they are getting more and more comfortable with the price fluctuation.
So as the team there in Venezuela moves on with its work, has it been difficult trying to focus on two different areas? You have to focus on the merchants, but you also have to focus on the customers. Has it been a tough road as far as splitting things up that way?
Well, actually, that is one of the things that led us to do an internal restructuring of our team. Before, we were organized in programs that were focused on the type of clients. We had the community program, we had the entrepreneurs program, we had the companies program, and also the proposal programs. But we, it became evident to us that we had similar processes in those programs, and they were maybe overworking. So we did a restructuring, and we have a new structure of Dash Venezuela focusing on the processes instead of building teams around the type of the clients. So we have now a communication or a PR team, a finances team, an education team, a consulting team, and a general services team. And those teams are there to support every client we have, even if it is the end user or if it is the merchant, entrepreneur, companies. And also we have had other kinds of networking with, for example, educational institutes, universities, professional associations, and the government. Also, we have to relate with the government because there is a new, this institution that is specialized for regulating the cryptocurrencies in Venezuela. This is a first on the world. I believe there is no other country that has such an institution from the government, and we need to understand how we have to relate ourselves with them so we can teach our clients how to do it also legally and responsibly.
That's an interesting point about the cryptocurrency division of the government, so to speak. There was a lot of concern about the way things were going there in Venezuela and how open the government would be to cryptocurrencies coming in and filling the void for the general public. How have you felt things have been going with that cryptocurrency oversight?
Well, I believe it is innovative that the government has an organization just for cryptocurrencies. I have faith that they are going to find a way to make things right, to enhance or to improve the ecosystem of cryptocurrencies in Venezuela. I believe there are people that are working there that want to improve things, and we have to wait for the laws they make and keep them, to comply with the laws. That is our obligations as citizens, whether we like it or not, and this is important for us because we are an example for our clients, even if they are merchants, entrepreneurs, or companies.
I guess we should say also that you aren't doing this alone. There are a number of different teams there in South America and Central America who are working together when it comes to getting cryptocurrency out there for the public and the merchants. Who have you been working with as far as that goes?
Well, I've been in touch with a lot of those teams, but officially I have worked with only some of them. For example, in our conference last year and in our social media, we have invited people to participate in Dash.red games. Also, we have helped, for example, Dash Maracay and other communities, the 30 communities in Venezuela, to get started. Also, we have worked with, I believe the next is, well, with Dash Colombia, we have had some collaboration with them. For example, we participated a few months ago in a virtual congress organized by George Donnelly with myself and other conferences for my team. And also I traveled to Medellin, Colombia, so I could be there present for one of their events and to record some videos that are going to help other leaders in Latin America to build their teams in their own countries. On the other hand, I believe there is, yes, the collaboration with the Dashcore group. We have been in touch with the developing team because they wanted to know our real user experience with the Dash apps, and also with the business development team, sharing with them data to help them understand our market. And also we have had successful collaborations with Dashcore Group, such as the launch of the Crypto Mobile, the phone, the smartphone with the Dash included, and also the collaboration in the case of Church Chicken of Venezuela, and the first big company at a franchise level to adopt completely Dash. And these are some of the biggest collaborations, aside from other small ones.
So what do you see ahead for 2019? Where do you think you're going to focus, and what do you have planned for the coming year for Dash Venezuela?
Yes, well, I am glad you asked that, because I am very excited for Dash in Venezuela in 2019. We have achieved like a certain maturity of the Venezuelan market in cryptocurrency, because when we first started, the word cryptocurrency was taboo. People was afraid of talking about that. And only a year and a half after that, we have everybody talking about cryptocurrencies. If you go on the highway in my city, you see several billboards talking about and promoting cryptocurrency services. So this is a great moment for crypto in Venezuela, and Dash is one of the 3 most famous crypto in Venezuela. So this is an exciting moment for us. So we want to focus on keep on the training and the education, because we know that education is fundamental. People have to be empowered about the free use and the responsible use of the tools to use Dash as a form of payment or donation. Also, we want to keep on with the PR efforts, because we want to maintain the positioning of the Dash brand that we have achieved in the minds of Venezuelans. And now we want to expand our efforts to other cities in Venezuela with conferences in alliances with one of those communities that we have held in the past. Also, we are going to be now doing some important research, market research, because we now have a big database of people interested in using cryptocurrency and of merchants that already said yes. So we want to know exactly what they need, so we can focus to business opportunities to bring liquidity to Venezuela. We believe that there is, for an adoption to be successful, you have to first lay down the network. Please think of the innovation of telephone. If you didn't build the network of telephones, you could not enhance people to use it. So we have built the network of merchants, of people that know how to use Dash, and now we are going to come up with strategies that are going to come from the data, not from our imagination, but from the data we recollect in this market research.
Eugenia, I got to say, the team there in Venezuela is doing a great job with everything you're doing under difficult times. It's tough. I mean, you guys are living with all the hyperinflation and everything else that's going on at the same time
Yeah.
as trying to get the word out there about Dash. So I just want to thank you very much for joining me today. I'm not going to keep you long because you've got so much work to do down there.
Yes.
And I really appreciate your time and wish you all the best for 2019.
Thank you so much, Brian, to you and to Tao and all the team of Cash Alternative TV. Thank you always.
Thanks again.